Today I'm going to prove that Sonic fans actually hate the series more than anything by reacting to this video by a guy named SF Productions. SF Productions is a really cool guy that I only watch on the Starfire Radio podcast unless he makes something on a social topic relating to Sonic. And in that case, we have this right here. Let's just hop right in.
Okay, let's talk about that title. Nobody hates Sonic more than Sonic fans is a statement that is more commonly found within many Sonic discussions. I want to make it clear immediately that I almost never agree with the use of this statement. It's often used to deflect criticism towards the series. You could say something as simple as, "I don't like Shadow Generations," and people will reply with that stupid Sonic Colors meme.
Bro used the worst example of all time. Like, it would be great if he, explains the exact reasons why he doesn't like the thing in the Discord message, but he doesn't. He just says, "I don't like it." But if you want to respond with word-to-word conversations, that's fine. But if I don't say anything to rebuttal, and if I don't want to ask why, I'm just gonna say, "Oh, you just dislike the series because you have no reason." You have no reason, and you didn't put your reason there. And you could say that people won't care about those reasons, but you didn't put the reason why, so you can't tell me that I don't care, because at the end of the day, it's just an opinion, and also, I can have the opinion that you don't like the series because of that thing. Now, you can call me stupid for having the opinion, but I can also say you're stupid for saying that Sonic X Shadow Generations is a game that you dislike. I can think you're stupid, you can think I'm stupid, and that can be our opinion about each other, because the ultimate concerning thing about the internet is that we're all able to argue in the worst ways possible and being completely stupid about each other's opinions and still look at each other as human beings. That is it. That is the thesis statement of the internet. Except death threats. I just realized that I didn't say that. No death threats. Easy. No death threats.
It stems from a place of insecurity. Naturally, it's hard for people to accept opinions that involve disliking something that they like. Deflecting those opinions and subsequent criticism is a great example of toxic positivity.
That you're not bringing up is that everybody on the opposite side of you, okay, see problems that don't exist. It's like shadowboxing, man. Okay, everyone who disagrees with me literally has no right to state their opinion because they're all shadowboxing, man. They're all shadowboxing. I'm joking, obviously, but this is a true thing. Most people feel insecurity, not because people dislike the thing they like. It's because people dislike the thing that they like and they want it to change, right? So it doesn't matter if you dislike the thing that I like, but if you dislike the thing that I like and you want the thing I like to be different, especially when the thing that I like is happening right now, of course I'm going to fight your opinion a lot harder than a person who has that thing already dead will fight you, right? People who dislike the Archie comics will argue with people that the Archie comics are like Sonic, but most Archie fans don't give a fuck because Archie hasn't been written in about a decade now. But if I say, hey, I want the fucking Frontiers to change, and Frontiers 2 is being made right now, they're going to be a little bit more pissy because you're saying that that thing needs to change. And it's happening right now.
You should be allowed to like things. However, just because you like those things and the majority of people like them, it doesn't make it wrong for people to dislike them. Somebody could say they hate Sonic Frontiers and think even Sonic 06 is better. Sure, it might be a hot take, but it's a valid opinion.
Remember, people, it's only a valid opinion because the thing is not serious, okay? Now, to some people, the thing is serious. In that case, you can have an invalid opinion. But, this is a video game. Obviously, treat people with respect. But also, you have to understand that most people think that Sonic Team still has a, thing where they literally just listen to criticism so hard that they'll 180 on everything, okay? They went from not having Sonic's friends to having Sonic's friends again, okay? If we just all simultaneously complained that Sonic's friends need to go away again, they'll just 180 on that, right? And then not even all of Sonic's friends will go away. It'll be Sonic and Tails, or Sonic and Tails and Knuckles, or Sonic, Tails, and Amy, okay? They won't do a full 180, but they'll do a 180 to the point where I'm still annoyed, but I'm also not as annoyed as I should be, right? So it's like, holy shit.
You can dislike a game that the majority of other people like. That doesn't mean you dislike the series.
but you dislike the series in its current state. Think about it. Disliking the series in its current state is tantamount to disliking the series because you don't know if that thing will ever truly change. Think about it. Just think about it. Like, oh, I don't like the series in its entirety. Yeah, like, no shit, no one's saying that. But you don't like the series in its current direction, meaning that you don't like the series right now. That is a clear thing where people are going. And I don't think people are explaining the nuances of either side of this opinion when they just say a sentence like that.
But on that same note, I feel like there's also a big problem with toxic negativity. And I feel like this is just as important as toxic positivity. Mindless hating, doom posting, you see it everywhere. You can say something such as, I like Frontiers' writing, and you can get someone saying you're wrong and that Ian Flynn is ruining Sonic or something.
There's no such thing as mindlessly hating. Mindlessly hating is when you blame everyone for anything, or where you say everything about something is bad and there are no upsides or opinions to liking that thing, right? If people argue with you and they have valid points, there's no such thing as mindlessly hating at that point. It's just people disagreeing with you. So there's no way to actually mindlessly hate things unless you don't explain in your Discord message and somebody decides to respond with the fucking Sonic Colors photo with the goddamn coolest meme of all time. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, just saying it. Dude, I'm just trying to lie here.
Or hell, with things like Crossworlds, people get mad at others for supporting the game just because they personally don't like it. It's an endless cycle.
This guy is such a $90 dickbag. He's a $90 dickbag. He's a $90 dickbag. Oh my god, he's so fucking evil. He supports and worships all the $90 games out there. He worships them so much. He hates them. Oh my god.
Remember, there are valid critiques, there are invalid critiques, and all this stuff just gets jumbled together. But also you have to understand that when you say very, very broad statements like that, it tends to get a little bit messy. Hopefully he explains in the next 5 seconds.
There's always been two sides to this toxic coin, and I feel like that doesn't often get acknowledged. So why am I bringing all of this up? Well, discourse has been ramping up a lot when it comes to Sonic's current game output and direction. It's gotten to a point where if you like current Sonic, you're wrong. If you dislike current Sonic, you're also wrong. And if you're somewhere in the middle, you're still wrong. There's such a massive divide in the community at the moment.
This massive divide is taking place because not every side of the fandom is getting fed at the same time. If there was adventure games going on, if there was fucking boost games going on, if there was 2D games going on, all at the exact same time, right? No one would be mad because you could just split off, right? It's not like Spider-Man, right? It's not like people are asking for Spider-Man beat-em-up games. They're asking for Spider-Man swinging around the city. But Sonic has too many gameplay styles, and that makes everything worse for the fans in general, because if their thing goes away, well then they don't have anything to do other than to just go back and play the old things. But there's new technology, there's new things coming out, and people want more of the things they used to love, and they aren't getting those things. So of course they're going to be more divides, and those rifts are going to get stronger and stronger. People don't love Sonic. They love Sonic for what it provides to them, whether it be good stories or it's good gameplay types, and not everyone's getting fed, right? We were feeding the 2D people for a couple of years, and it turns out Sonic Mania isn't ever getting a sequel, turns out, so it tends to just be kinda corny and cringe, and it's insane.
And with that, there's also been a lot of hostility. Look, this is the fucking Sonic community. You and I both know that discourse like this has been around for ages. But the difference now is that Sonic is in a great spot. I would argue that he is currently seeing some of the greatest success he has ever seen. When we discuss discourse from, say, 10 years ago, it all stems from the series' failures. But in recent years, I feel like there's been a lot of vitriolic hate towards the franchise. And it goes beyond disliking something like Frontiers and the direction it's taking the series. Some people have gone as far as to say that Frontiers' success actually didn't do anything for the series, even when that's just factually not true. It just seems...
I made an entire video about that. If you just want to go watch that video, you can just watch it down in the link below. It'll probably just say it there.
Many people don't like how the series is succeeding when it's going in a direction that they don't like, but they're also trying to push that sentiment onto others and resorting to flat out denying the impact of Sonic's recent successes. Let's talk about Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Coming from somebody who's given the game a large amount of criticism for things like the price and the gameplay, I still want it to be successful. This game is a sign that Sonic Team is in a much better spot financially, and while I don't think the game warrants that price point, I don't want this game to be a hindrance to the franchise, and I don't want it to fail. Why would I? And honestly, I'm kind of shocked by how much discourse is surrounding this game. On the one hand, you have people praising its content, its character roster, and fan service, and then you have the people critiquing things like the animations, the gameplay, the voices, the price, all of that. Both sides are perfectly okay, and I'm not here to invalidate anyone's opinions of the game itself. What I have an issue with is this community's inability to accept both positivity and criticism of this game. If somebody criticizes it, you'll have people telling you to be more confident in the game and be grateful that we're getting all of this content. And then you have some people praising the game but getting told that they're wasting their money, and that the flaws are clear signs of laziness and poor development management.
This is a problem with short videos, and this is the reason why I've been making them a bit longer. Unless the topic is plain and has a simple through line, you're never going to look at both sides fully because you don't have the time to. You have to explain why that's wrong, right? People want the franchise's direction to change, and the only way to make the franchise direction to change is either one, to constantly convince people of your opinion and cause your sentiment to grow, or to convince people not to support that thing so they have to change direction. These are valid ways to get people to do things. No matter what you say, fandom is basically the political system of America, right? And in that way, your vote with your wallet and the president is the game, or the game developers. And your goal is to either make people vote with their wallet or vote with their critic scores. And most people, if they're voting with their critic scores, they're gonna vote with their wallet too. So you gotta convince people to change the reception of how the game is viewed by the general public, right? Even if people don't do this, like literally, they will do this within their heads without realizing it.
But with this game especially, I guess there's no better way to put it other than that this is a racing game, something to hold us over until the next mainline game. So I don't really understand how people can look at this game's flaws and think it's anything detrimental for the series, especially with how well Crossroads is already performing. And on the other hand, I don't see how anyone can look at someone's simple disinterest and criticism of the game as hate for the series, since again, even if it was a mainline game, it's just one game. It doesn't at all mean that you're a fake Sonic fan or whatever.
Yeah, I think the issue with this is that people assume that people who don't like the current direction of the series is also a symptom that isn't going to change. And if we keep making games that people don't like going forward, essentially they don't like the series in its current direction. Have you seen the Star Wars fandom? Have you seen those people? People will literally just like drop the entire series because they don't like the fucking sequel trilogy. That was diabolical. That was diabolical, okay? What they have going on over there. Sonic isn't that bad, but they are in this middle state because due to the fact that the community is a lot more accepting of different cultures and identities, you see that people are willing to stick around a lot more and a lot longer than they would in a fandom that's like Star Wars. And that's very, very unique among the Sonic community. In fact, I would love for someone to make a video about Sonic fan psychology, because these people are just unique as shit. There is no one more unique than the Sonic fandom, the FNAF fandom, and these Undertale people. And it's crazy. It's really crazy.
But how about a mainline game, Sonic Frontiers? It's quickly become one of the most divisive games in the series, mainly coming from the new direction the game is taking, and how that direction is most definitely becoming the new norm. Both toxicities apply here as well. Some people love the new direction and success it's brought for the series, while others have prayed for this game's downfall out of pure dislike of what this game does. Both sides have been met with hate, and in some cases, harassment, which is just not okay. But what I mainly have an issue with when it comes to Frontiers discourse is this notion that there is a definitive style in gameplay for Sonic. Thus, if you like Frontiers and you enjoy the new direction for the series, then you don't like Sonic as both a character and a gameplay style, and I never understood this at all. You can give criticism to the game, you can think it's the worst Sonic game, I don't care, but acting like Sonic's character can't have any slight differences between games, and that the series never changes or evolves in any way, and that Sonic has to be a specific way for the game to qualify as an actual Sonic game is bizarre to me. Sure, Frontiers' iteration of both Sonic's character and the gameplay is different, and you may dislike it, but the reason why this series is so special to me personally is because of how diverse it is. Sonic is a character that fits in so many different styles and tones. Liking Frontiers and what it does is just liking another one of those iterations. But it's still Sonic. I don't agree when people downplay someone's enjoyment of the game by challenging their credibility as a Sonic fan. But then there are people who enjoy the game but downplay others for not accepting the game's direction and not being able to adapt to the change.
But this is a problem because those other people aren't getting fed. The solution isn't to tell people to stop giving a fuck or to tell them to care a little bit more. The solution is to tell people, hey, we're creating 3 different styles of gameplay, we're creating more and more styles of gameplay, and you can all go your separate ways and play those games separately away from each other and let everybody else enjoy the things they want to enjoy. But you can't enjoy the thing you want to enjoy unless you go back, okay? Unless you go back. People want the shiny new upgrade. People don't want the old thing anymore. We have so many advancements in tech. I've already said this. Moving on.
For me, I love the direction for Frontiers, but if you don't like it and prefer something like Black Knight or Unleashed, that's perfectly okay. So I think it's important to give criticism. Again, I've given the series a lot of criticism on my channel, but I've also made sure to point out things that I do like and that I think works well. And it's all done out of love for the series, because I want to see it improve, and
We're going to stop that video right here. The video is good, okay? The video is good for what it's trying to be, but it's bad because it doesn't explain the nuances of the situation. It doesn't. It never can get into that either, because the longer the video gets, the more you're going to have to edit it and the more you're going to have to do. So you can't really talk about this. You can't talk about it in a nuanced way, and that sucks. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.